All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. Go ahead, let me know where you're coming in from, and we'll get started in just a quick minute. Let me go ahead and drop in the link. If you have the chance, please, if you're a client, it'd be great for you to go ahead and log into your account and actually do some of the stuff with me and actually get some of the stuff done. Leo, good to see you again, buddy. Kettering, Ohio from Amy. Awesome. And Joanne, Atlanta. Very nice. All right. Hopefully my video quality is good. My pain and suffering from my internet connections are just ridiculous. But regardless of that, let me drop this link. Let me know if you are not yet in our school. I really want to recommend that you get in here. I'm going to show you something. We've got an expired and we've got one for just sold. Now, just sold works for both pendings and just sold marketing. And what essentially the big takeaway here is when you think of a just sold listing or in a pending listing as well, there are three distinct funnels, all right, that you can implement to get more listings. One of them is, and it's the default one, and that is just the another home went into contract, another home just sold, and when it closes escrow, nearby home values will change. Click below to get your updated home value now. All right, whether it's through social media, database, a farm, right? That's a great message. It works really well for the Facebook ads, for the e-flyers. It works great all the way around. And that's the default marketing funnel for a pending and just sold listing and listings to leads. But there's a few more. All right. There's a few more great ones that I've spelled out here. And I'm going to just mention a couple of the two of them here. The other one is, for example, 123 Main Street just sold. In fact, let me click on this. 123 Main Street just sold. And we've got 14 more buyers looking for a home in Whitney Oaks. All right. And that type of call to action is phenomenal as well. All right. Essentially, it's the golden letter strategy. So taking that golden letter strategy, implementing it with social media, paid ads, free post, short form videos, e-flyer to the database, direct mail or door knocking to the farm. All right. So that is another one that is really great. And then the third one is essentially 123 Main Street just sold. And here's how our 100 plus point home marketing plan got over 10,000 views for this home versus 790 on Zillow. And you go through that one, all right, where you're the marketing expert that got the property sold or into contract. Because all three of these work for both pending and just sold. All right. So real quickly, does everybody kind of get this idea that there are three distinct messaging options that you've got? And my recommendation is to use all three. All right. Is to literally use all three of these, because then you're going to attract and engage different people who've got different, motivations, right? One person may be motivated to respond because of the fact that a property sold and they want to get their updated home value. Another homeowner may be more prompted to engage when you say 145 Main Street just sold and we've got more buyers looking for a home in the area. And I should also say this works whether you're the listing or selling agent. All right. You might reword things just a little bit differently, but it works as both the listing and the selling agent. So whether you represented the homeowner and you were the listing agent, or you represented the buyer, all right, and you're the selling agent, these strategies work for both scenarios. All right. And then the last one here, again, of course, is a 100 point home marketing plan. Some people are going to be motivated by that. Maybe they had an agent before, or they knew someone that tried to sell their house and their agent wasn't that good. And when you talk about how you've got a 100 plus point home marketing plan, that's going to be really motivating to them. And so my recommendation is to implement all three of these. Week one would be the default. All right. That would be just the default in listings to leads. Week two would be the we have more buyers marketing. And then week three would be the 100-point home marketing plan. Now, if you got multiple listings that are pending and just sold, you don't have to do all you don't have to do like all of these for all of your listings, but I would at least try to make sure I've got different stages, right? Funnel one, funnel two, funnel three, live at the same time when I've got multiple pendings and just solds. Any question on that? But of course, let me know. We do record all of our calls. And when you're in the school here under live and recorded calls, you can click right here and access all of the recorded calls that we do. All right. So yeah, again, get into our school. If you have a hard time getting in there, make sure that you get into the mastermind group. Let our support team know. We'll try to get you over there as quickly as possible so you can take advantage of all the great things in there. I'm going to be going back to it in a little bit, but let's go ahead and log into listings to leads. I do want to point out we do our live Zoom calls every Monday and Wednesday for expired. If you're not doing that, Leo can tell you it works. I'm telling you, people are absolutely crushing it. All right. Just talk to another client. In fact, you'll see her beautiful face right here. She's gotten 3 buyers from what we're doing. All right. 3 listings and 2 buyers. And that's only been in the last few months. Absolutely amazing. And last thing before we get at it, I just dropped a new content pack. We got 2 emails, 2 text messages, and social media. And it's relating to the fact that existing home sales were up 5.1%. And you want to use this right now to engage, all right, all the homeowners, all the seller leads, all the buyer leads. It is great news for sellers because with more buyers in the market, there's more competition for their home. And it's great news for buyers because now with rates at nearly a 3-year low, that means their monthly payments are going to be lower or they can have more purchasing power. Either way, it's great for both sellers and buyers. So if you click right here, it will take you to the mastermind group. I want you to leave a comment, leave a like, and then just go ahead and click the image. And at our blog, here's the text message for sending to seller leads. There's a text message for buyer leads. Here's a Facebook post. What you're going to do is just copy and paste. Just copy and paste the text into your Facebook. And for the image, you can just right click and either copy and paste it into your Facebook post, or you can save it and upload it. Either way. So it should look something like this. Look at that. Just absolutely beautiful. And if you don't know, you could actually copy this image, drop it into ChatGPT, and you could say, change the background image to a home, and you could actually upload a second image, and it'll change out the image behind the information. So there's a lot of really cool editing here that you can do with that. There's also Instagram story. So check this out. What you do is you're going to right click again and save this image, and you can use this image as an Instagram story. And I'll show you what it should look like. So check this out. There's music. And I added a link. So when you're doing an Instagram story, click the stickers icon. And when you do that, there's going to be a whole bunch of things will appear. One of the options is going to be, ooh, wow, sorry about that. One of the options will be link. And then you can just drop a link. And I dropped the link to, check this out, right from Instagram stories. What an amazing free way to put myself out there, right? To give good information and have a link to be able to capture leads. So absolutely awesome. And let's go ahead and close that. I don't want to get too many windows open. For the emails, they're right on the dashboard. So when you log into listings to leads, what you're going to do is just scroll down. And there's a section here, database, email blast. If I mouse over, existing home sales up 5.1% in December, send to your buyer leads. And existing home sales up 5.1% in December, send to your seller leads. So one's for buyers, one's for sellers. And the email will automatically include the link to your flip book. So you can see here, we're just blah, 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 right? A little bit of info for homeowners and seller leads about why this is good news. All right. And then this link is an active link when you send it. So you can send yourself a test email to see how it works. And then you're going to see here's where that link is going to. All right. Boom, boom, boom. To find that link. So for example, when I'm going to go do the Instagram story and I want to include the link, like what you saw on mine, you're going to click, and it's actually on the post. Here, let me show you. When you go to Instagram stories, click here at this post. Here's the image you're going to use. Here's what it should look like when it's live. And here's how to find that link. And I'll show you live right now, but you're going to go to listings, click the listing presentation tab. All right. Flip book, and then boom. All right. So yeah, I always try to make sure I put things where you need it. But so on the listings page, right? Listings, listing presentation, and then flip book. And you can just either copy URL or you can click view so you can see what it looks like in the wild. And then just make sure you go back to page 1 because the URL will change, right? If I flip it, it's going to be, now look at page 3, page 5, page 7. So I don't want to open it up there. I want to make sure it opens up on the cover. So I'm going to use this link in the Instagram story for that. Make sense? All right. Kendra, you good? Dave? All right. Dave's going on an appointment. Phenomenal. This is being recorded. All right. Let's do this. Let's talk about pendings and just solds. When you get an active listing and it goes into contract, all right, and then again, when it is closes escrow or sold, as either a selling agent or a listing agent. So if you got a listing where your buyer's in contract, or maybe your buyer bought a listing in the last 2 to 3 months, come to add listing, manual, and select either status, whatever's appropriate. But notice also for just sold, we've got just sold selling agent. That's where your buyer bought it. And we got just sold listing agent. So you want to make sure, all right, we have literally had clients, their buyer went into contract on a property. She used the tools and got another listing before that property closed escrow. So while they were in escrow on a property, the selling agent added the listing to her listings to leads account, took a photo of the property, during an inspection or whatever, and used that photo. And then she got a listing. She got a listing before it closed escrow. How phenomenal is that? Could you imagine, right? How cool that would be? Probably the listing agent was like, wait, what? The listing agent was probably a little bit shocked. But yeah, you want to make sure you're marketing pending and just sold as either the listing or the selling agent every single time. Why? Because it's proof. People don't hire you, right? They don't hire you to sell their home and do all these open houses and all that stuff. I mean, of course they do, but why they really hire you is to get the thing sold. And so when it goes into contract, as long as you got a good contract and it seems good, all right, sometimes you can kind of tell, like, oh, is this going to fall out, or is this going to, are we really good here or not? So, but when you get a good contract and you close escrow, that's what they hired you for. All right. Everything else is just a lead up to that. So to not market pending, to not market just sold for all it is worth is leaving absolute money on the table. And that's why we've got 3 different funnels for both pending and just sold. All right. Again, your 123 Main Street is in contract. When this closes escrow, nearby home values will change. Click below to get your new home value. 145 Main Street in Folsom just sold. We've got 24 more buyers looking for a property. And then 145 Main Street is in contract. And our marketing got over 7,000 views for this property versus only 583 on Zillow. Because of our 100-point home marketing plan. So 3 distinct, powerful calls to action. All right. And again, we're going to do this. We're going to go through those week 1, week 2, week 3. Can you market solds from a few months ago? I think so. I think anything in the last 3 months, 100%. Anything in the last 3 months, 100%. And to be honest, it's none of my business what you do. But I've known people who've gone back 6 months. Whatever. So let's get at it. I got pendings. I got solds. Let's do it just sold where I'm the listing agent. I'm going to click market listing. And we got the overview, step-by-step guide, click learn more. So we got the school. That's one thing. And then this right here is a little bit different. This will walk through all of the tools under the market listing button. There's a couple of additions, including right here, pro tip. And that is to change in fact, I'm going to put this inside of the chat. So go ahead and grab this right here. If you're watching this on recording, go to listings2leads.com/just sold or /pending. So check this out. This is very, very powerful. When your listing goes into contract or sold, and you can grab mine and just copy mine and edit it. Notice I change the property description because now it's not buyers looking at it. It's going to be mostly homeowners and seller leads looking at my marketing. And so I changed the property description that may have said, beautiful home, corner lot, updated kitchen, so on and so forth, right? Talking to a buyer. Now I changed the property description to talk to homeowners and potential home sellers. So I'm not going to go into that in too much detail because you can take a look at that later. But I've got one version where I'm the listing agent. And then I did another one where I'm the selling agent. And I've done this for pending as well. All right, check this out. It was my buyer. I got 16 more buyers. All right. So take a look at that because, again, our marketing, our lead gen is all now geared towards sellers and homeowners. If I work my way down this page right here, this is just a good read. I would definitely want to make sure that you read this. Here, some great examples for pending and sold on Instagram. So where it says click here, and I've actually got some more that I'll show you, but you can come here and see, for example, just sold in Folsom. And I got a video walking you through how to do a poll. Check this out. Just sold in Folsom. Our 100-point home marketing plan wins again. And I put thinking about selling your home. Get your current home value estimate for free now. And it goes right to a boom. And Instagram stories are free. Another home pending in Granite Bay. Get the 100-point plan now. All right. That's the link that we were talking about a little bit earlier, essentially. I've got pending in Rockland. This is just going to the property website. Because again, check this out, right? The property, that's what I mean. Our marketing is, will a home buyer click that? Maybe, but it's going to be mostly homeowners and would-be home sellers. So this is all available on that page. This is yesterday's PDF guide call we did. Just sold in Folsom. Free guide, home seller negotiation secrets. So that's going to a landing page from listings to leads. right from Instagram, absolutely free. So there are so many free and paid great ways to market those pendings and solds. And you want to do them as much as possible. Why? Check this one out. I just sold 1015 Riley Street. I still have 8 buyers actively looking. Quick question: what would make it worth taking a look at an offer for your home? Visit link, and that's going to the home value landing page. So many great ways, and a lot of them are here. The one thing about pending versus just sold, and we're going to go through all of this. So don't freak out that I'm just going down here really quickly, because we're going to go through all of this today. The one thing I'm going to mention, because I'm going to be focusing on just sold, when your listing goes into contract as the listing agent, make sure you put this on top of the yard sign. All right. I got sale pending, pending, and whatever you call it. Get these from your association, put them on the yard sign, and make sure you got the text writer below the arm. And I would also want to make sure that you've got your listing flyers in an acrylic box on the yard sign as well, because all those neighbors are going to be walking around. People are going to be driving by, and anyone thinking about selling a home, when they see your listing is advertising that it's in contract or under contract or pending, whatever it is that you call it, they're going to see that, and they're going to be, anyone that's thinking about selling in the near future is going to go, oh, they went into contract. They're now pending. And if you've got text for more information, they're very likely to send a text. If you've got the flyer box, they're very likely to take a flyer, and on the listings to leads flyers, right? The print flyers for the property. There's the text codes and the QR codes. All right. So make sure, man, if you don't do this now, if you can do it for just sold, phenomenal. I know a lot of times people can't, but you can for sure do it for 30 days, for 21, 22, 25 days. Having this is going to be literally one of the best lead generators, especially for quality leads. Everybody makes sense? Does that make sense for everybody? All right, let's get at it. Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, as I mentioned before, this is going to default to the whole another home in Folsom just sold. Your home's value has been affected by this home being sold. Click below or text for your new updated home value estimate. So that's going to be the default. And we're going to go through this twice. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm going to increase my budget to 100. And if I want to change the template, add a video, I can do all of that right here. If I want to retarget, this will be checked by default, and I can even hit a custom audience. I'm going to uncheck that, and I'm going to hit create ad. That will be a Facebook lead ad, and it's going to capture some great information that you may not be aware of, but I really want you to pay attention to, because this is so powerful. I was doing some checking on this recently, and let me see if this one, is going to be, let me show you one that's already up on Facebook, because I want you to see how they work, and you're going to see something really, really cool. So I'm going to go show ad, and I'm going to scroll down. Here we go. So here's the ad. I'm going to click it and check this out. See how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. Yes, please. Yes, and customize. Not right now. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? Maybe. All right. And then see how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar. Ooh, that's a really good one. We allow you to add these custom questions before name, email, and phone number. And I'm telling you, it is so powerful, because now when I'm generating leads, and they answer those questions, my follow-up is going to reflect what they replied. So if they say, yes, I want your 100-point home marketing plan, I'm going to text it to them. I'm going to email it to them. I got their phone number. I got their email address. If they say yes, that they might consider an offer if they got the right price, what am I going to do? In my follow-up, I'm going to say something along the lines of, hey, Joanne, thank you for responding to my ad on 145 Main Street. And I saw that you might be open to an offer if you got the right price. What price would make you at least consider an offer? And Joanne's going to say $2.7 million. And I'm just going to say, phenomenal. When do you have 5 minutes for me to come over and take a quick look at it and see if that's something that I think one of my buyers might make an offer? Does that make sense? And then we have see how AI can help you sell your home faster. I'm going to reference that as well. So let's go back and let's take a look at where those questions are located. All right. So when we're in that work area, all right, I'm going to change the budget, like I mentioned, right? 100 from 50. 50 is the default, but 100 for 1 week is going to be a lot better. You want at least $10 a day. Seller leads for pending and just sold average about $10 a lead. So if I just do $50, it's almost $50 is going to be too low for the algorithm pretty much. So minimum is 70, but I like to do 100. Because they're some of the cheapest seller leads you're going to get from a Facebook ad. So here we go. Check this out. Advanced options. I'm going to open up advanced options and click create new form. And this is where I'm going to edit those questions. Form questions. So look, name, email, and phone number are default, right? Boom, 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 boom. The default questions that are going to be showing will be, what is your time frame to sell? Which I'm going to close. And would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? That's default. I love that one. I'm going to leave it. The reason why I turn off the other one, because this question right here almost is kind of similar as far as time frame, 1 to 3 months. And if they say yes to this, and I tell you, I've seen some people's leads where almost half of the leads say yes to this. I think on average is probably 20 to 30% of your leads will say yes to that question. What a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal question to be able to reply back and engage on. It's just absolutely phenomenal. See how AI can help you sell faster for top dollar. I'm going to select yes to that. And we got, what is your magic number for your home? No obligation. So that's going to be more for that funnel, right? That we got more buyers funnel. What's your magic number? That would be one to turn on if you're going to do that funnel. And then see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. I like that one all the time. And I'm just going to, if I scroll up, I'll see that they're all now here, right? There's the first question. There's the second question. There's the third question. And they're all like pretty much yes, no questions. Create new form. And I'm just going to close advanced options. If I want to retarget, I can click that button. If I want to use a custom audience, I can use that button. No problem. All right. Last thing I'm going to mention here is if you don't have AI text follow-up, I would recommend using ours. It's phenomenal. It is so drop dead easy. I've seen people with Go High Level. Oh my God, they're paying like $400 just for the setup. All right. And that's not including the monthly subscription. Ours literally takes 2 minutes. Click subscribe, select the option that you want. Go with 50 in the beginning, hit next, and then you're going to add your credit card. And then you're going to select a agent name like Alex, Tony, whatever. And then you're going to select buyer leads, seller leads, or both. Joanne, that's a great question for your broker. Yeah, that's going to be a good question for your broker. All right. Next up, social media post. This is phenomenal. This will happen automatically usually. Um, when I'm going to post, I like the different image. I'm going to show you. I go edit image, and I just like the sideways one right here, like that one. And if I want to change the images, right, there's a little edit icon here. So I can change the text, I can change the color, right? I can change the text that's in here. And you can do this for the ad as well, right? You can change whatever you want like that. You want to change an image, just click in here. So each one of those sub images is editable. 9 times out of 10, you don't need to do that, but I just like to show it to you. I can change the text as well. Little pro tip right now here. When I'm here, I do like to download this image right now. Oh, I actually download both Instagram and the Facebook versions because I'm going to use those later for different things. Let's just go back here. All right, and this will post to Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google. You want it to go to all of them. All right, because again, man, this is success. Pending is success. Just sold is success. They're all success. Next up, requests for, one more last thing I'll just mention real quickly here. On the social media postings, they are going to go, when people click it, they're going to go to the property website, just like the Facebook ad. So when you do an ad or you do a post, they are going to take people to the property website. All right. Request for review. We got the client review websites. We can import from Zillow, Testimonial Tree, and Google automatically. But if you don't have a source, you can actually use ours, and you can edit it before I send it. I can change the URL. So if I want to send people to my Google review page, I can do that. Or if I want to send them to Zillow, I can do that. Or if I want to use my listings to leads, what will happen is people will, if they click to leave you a review, they will land on this page. They can leave you a review, and then you'll get notified that you got a new review to review. And then you can take a look at it. You can accept it so that it displays everywhere, including your client review website, your single property website, right? All those different places. Or you can reject it and it just doesn't go anywhere. So very, very powerful tool if you need it. The next 2 tools work together. All right. These 2 work together. These are if you're not doing this, you are so leaving money on the table. And these are for the seller. All right. These are for the seller. And what it is, it's a email that's going to be sent to the seller. One will include information. All they got to do is they just copy and paste it into their Facebook page. And the other one is an e-flyer. And what they do is they promote you as getting their home into contract, as getting their home sold. And it's, oh my God, it's one of the best branding. It's one of the best ways to generate leads. It's one of the best ways to engage their sphere of influence on both social media and email. And what you're going to do here is you're going to click the green button. Their email address either will automatically appear, or you can add it if you need to, right? Add the little salutation, click send. And then just do the same thing for the e-flyer as well. All right. The e-flyer is beautiful. Looks amazing. Just do the same thing there. Hit send. 2 emails will go to the seller. You will get CC'd on both of them so that you know exactly what they got, and you're going to know when they got it, and you're going to call them up. All right. And you're going to have them post it to their to any neighborhood pages, to Nextdoor, right? You're going to ask them to post there as well, and you're going to get even more from this. So what you're going to do is you're going to call the seller, all right? And let's just say it's now sold. So you may say something like, "Hey, Joanne, it was amazing working with you. Thank you so much for trusting me to get your property sold. It was, we went through a lot together, but it was awesome. And, congratulations on everything again. I sent you a couple of things to share on social media and email, just because I would love to make sure that we let everybody know that in this market, we're still getting homes sold. And if you can put that on your Facebook page, and if you got any Facebook groups or next door that you belong to and you want to put it there, I would be so appreciative. All right. And the seller, as long as you did a good job, of course, they're going to do that. And now you got the seller, right, throwing stuff like this out into the universe on your behalf. So, A, it is somebody else talking about how great you are, which is way better than us talking about how great we are. And they're going to do it in different places where they have a lot of trust. People in their community probably know them. People in the neighborhood group at least know who they are, or what house it was that they owned. On Nextdoor, same idea. So we want to make sure that we get these two items to the seller and ask them to share. Does that make sense? Are we clear on that? Is everybody good on that one? So powerful. All right, next up, the nearby homeowner letter. I can click download. I can click edit. And let's say, for example, it's just sold. I want to let you know 1015 message just sold. I could say, for example, let's say I want to do this for the golden letter strategy. Just sold, but we have 34 more buyers for homes in the area. Right now, I got the exact text I would recommend in the school, but just to show you that this is completely editable. Or I could have said, in Folsom, above asking with 3 offers, or right, whatever I want to put. Or our 100-point home marketing plan got 4,694 views versus the 436 on Zillow. So you can change that ending. Don't do too much, because when you completely add too much to this and start making it about you, which sometimes people want to do, it ruins the whole thing. So any kind of edits you make, be very judicious with them, and you don't feel obligated to edit anything, right? We have clients that just use this without touching anything, and they do great. So here we go. Now, this is something that you want to make. Now, we've got postcards, we got door hangers on the next tab down, but this letter right here, especially if you door knock, oh my gosh, if you door knock with that, and if you were to print that listing presentation, right? You print the listing presentation, right? That we kind of talked about a little bit earlier. And we go over this in our expired calls as well, because it all kind of relates a little bit. If you door knock with that letter and the listing presentation, the print form of it, it is amazing. All right. But if all you can do is mail it, phenomenal. I'll show you in listings to leads. There's a tab called success stories down here. And if I right click, I'm going to open it up in a new tab. And I'm just going to show you open house marketing to seller, selling agent with a pending listing. All right. So this is one of the people, right? Pending listing, got another listing, and she just printed the letters, folded them, and then actually mailed it out, right? Just like this right here. You could use Mailbox Power. You could use Thanks.io. The only thing about mailing, if you're going to do the letter, is making sure that you use like a handwritten font on the envelope. Don't use, Verdana or Times New Roman font on the envelope itself. You want to make sure that it's either you're handwriting them or it's handwritten font. And to be honest, that's why I just like to door knock. I could sit there for 2 hours and handwrite them all, or I could just spend 2 hours door knocking. And I'd rather door knock because then I actually get to meet people. And then take the little, take something with me so I can leave it on the door if they're not home. And the really cool thing is, if I do talk to somebody and I've got this with me, right, my 100-point home marketing plan, if I've got that with me, I can, it's another conversation starter, right? It's a great conversation starter. And I offer them a copy of it. And when they say yes, perfect. Would it be better to email it or text it to you? Or if you like, I could actually customize this for your home. And then we could set up a time later on next week. And I could come by and present it to you one-on-one if you like that as well. You know, whatever you want to do, just let me know and I'll make sure that we get that over to you. So it's a phenomenal, right? To have this with you, right? And you're door knocking, and to be able to just show it to them, right? And say, you know, hey, I'd love to give you a copy, right? Would text or email be better? Or would you like a hard copy of this? And oh, by the way, I can customize it for your home specifically, and then bring it over to you later next week or whatever you want to do. Everybody get how powerful that is? Because what is the goal? You know, it's kind of like, why do open houses work so good? Right. In fact, on our homepage there, you saw there's a video from John Summers. Um, People do so well with open houses using listings to leads for both marketing and actually doing the open house itself, because it puts you face to face with people in a way that is going to engage them and help convert them at the highest level. That's why, you know, if you got more time than money, you're going to want a door knock. Absolutely. But if you got more money and no time, you know, mail it. We got the postcards, we got door hangers, right? Door hangers are awesome. But the letters, that's where it's at. That is where it's at. If you do not have a resource, let me give you, I'm going to give you a resource. This is an affiliate link. But if you don't have a place to get addresses, I would, if I'm going to do any kind of mailing, I also want to make sure I do a phone call as well. Like, why would I mail and not call? It makes no sense. So when I do a mailing of 100 people around my listing, or 200 people, whatever it's going to be, I want to make sure I pull a list that includes name, you know, like likely to list, but I also want to make sure I got name, email, and phone numbers. So when I pull a list to mail to, I'm going to make sure I got their email, I got their phone number, I got their home address. So now I can mail them or door knock if I'm going to do door knocking, but then I've also got their phone number and their emails. Way, way, way smarter than just, you know, mailing blindly and dropping the ball thereafter. Because what do we know about sales? What do we know about follow-up? What do we know about lead generation? It can take anywhere from, you know, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 or more touches before something happens. My goal is to compress the touches as quickly as possible and as many different facets and channels as possible. All right. Are we clear on that? Go ahead and give me a yes if that makes sense. All right. And why that's so powerful. Because again, door knocking with the nearby homeowner letter is awesome. But at the same time, if I can call and send an email as well, well, I'm going to double, at a minimum, I'm going to double my lead engagement and conversion, because now I'm doing two things at once, multiple touches, right? So I'm compressing that. And then it's at different channels and different facets that they're hearing from me. So that's why, you know, is it an investment? Is it a little bit more money to pull it, to pay for it, to pull a list, to make sure I got the do not call, to get the emails? Now I can upload those all into my CRM, and then I can have a multi-channel touch communication with these people. And the beautiful thing about this is we're not calling them to sell them. We're calling them to give them information. All right. So the script right here. So when I call you up and I say, hi, Amy, right? Hi, Amy, Scott here at XYZ Realty, and wanted to let you know that 1015 Riley Street in Folsom just sold, and it's not too far away from you. I sent a letter with a link to the property website that has all the great information about the property. And I really just wanted to make sure, I'm just calling to make sure that you got that. So it's a super easy call. You're not putting them on the spot. You're going to be able to have a conversation. And then from there, you can really dig into whichever version of the funnel, right? We're talking about before, the default is home buyers have changed. But for example, you might say, after talk a little bit, then you might roll into, oh, by the way, and in fact, I might, before you even say this, because you're going to say, we still have 8 more people looking for homes in the area. All right. Let them talk a little bit, give them a little bit of space. And then just say, by the way, what price would make you consider an offer for your home? Right. Or if you're going to use the 100-point home marketing plan funnel, right? The circle prospecting script down here, there's a couple of them actually. Our 100-point home marketing plan got 8,000 views for this home versus the 480 on Zillow, which is really how we got this property sold, right? It's not just some, random, oh, we got it sold. But when you actually approach it like this right here, now they can connect the dots and put you in the middle of all of that because it was your 100 plus point home marketing plan that got it sold. It wasn't just, oh, I was the agent there when it sold, and the people just go, oh, like you probably just put it in the MLS and somebody made an offer. But when you use these different scripts, you're going to get a lot more engagement. And Joanne, you say, what happened? What happened? Did something happen? Are we good? Did I disappear? Yeah. Are we good? All right. All right. So after the farm, we got the e-flyer for your database. Again, this is so powerful. Why? Check this out. 1015 Raleigh Street in Fulton just sold. If you're thinking about selling your home, my 100 plus point home marketing plan helped get this home sold. And there's a link to yours right there, right in the email. We are putting this in front of people in our database. I mean, this is so amazing. This is so powerful. They click this link, they're going to go to the property website. This is all by default. As soon as your listing is pending or just sold, it's going to work the exact same way. They're going to see all the great marketing that I do. All right. And then down here, automatically, it's going to have a link, a little graphic to your home value landing page. Amazing. Beautiful. Awesome. We can either send it through Listings to Leads or we can send it through our own CRM. To send it through Listings to Leads, just click either, I always like to send a test email, but I can either click Send, select a list, and then send it. Or if you want to send it through your CRM, you can do a couple of things. Either click Copy Code and go through that route, or you just click in here. So let's see. Just click in here and just, select all, Command A, Command C, or Control A, Control C, and just go to your CRM where you're going to send out an email. So it'll literally take like 45 seconds. Create email, and I'll just say, another home just sold in Folsom. And I'm just going to paste that whole thing. It's going to look perfect. Check this out. So right in your email. So this could be Follow Up Boss. This could be Lofty. Boom. All right. There's a slideshow for the top. Right. Here's the link to the plan. Here's a link to the property website. Get that out to your database. And then we want to make sure that we call through our database. So try to call at least 5 to 10 people, both pending and just sold. Don't overthink it, because again, similar to the circle prospecting call, We are only calling just to let them know the property sold. People are going to engage with you if you don't put them on the spot, if you don't start, blowing a bunch of questions that they got to start thinking about, in rapid succession. So if I were to just call you up and just say something like, hey, John, Scott here at XYZ Realty, and I wanted to let you know that 1015 Riley Street just sold. All right. Could you do a different intro and different way of doing that? Hi, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Right. Or I'm looking for the homeowner at 1456, Maple Drive. But the point is, I just want to let you know that 1015 Riley Street in Folsom just sold. All right. And then I sent an email to you with a link to the property website with all the photos and details. And I just wanted to make sure that you got that. That call is going to open up some great conversations with you in your database. And even if you leave a voicemail, I would leave a voicemail because I want them to hear my voice. I want them to get comfortable with me. I want them to look at me as a real person and as somebody that has success. And if I don't even leave a voicemail, right, I'm not developing good skills. I'm not being disciplined. And I'm not taking advantage of the fact that I got a property into contract or a property sold, and I'm not properly getting that out into the marketplace, especially to people in my database. All right. Short form video scripts. So we saw the link earlier, right, where we had Instagram, and there's also TikTok as well, on how to use a just sold listing as a for social media. So Instagram stories, for TikToks. This right here is a little different. This is just a script for you. So this is a script that you're going to use, and you're just going to say something. You're going to just say something to the effect of, just want to let you know that 1015 Riley Street in Folsom just sold. You can get all the photos and details by texting 37349 to 25678. Talk a little bit about the property. And then you're going to go roll into, now that this home is sold, you're going to want to know what your new home value estimate is going to be, right? Just go to california.freehomevalues.net, or you can comment, DM me below, and I'll get that to you as quickly as possible. I think you're going to like what you see. And then you just close it out. Doing the just solds, like your little reels, your little stories, your little things, whether they're the ones like I showed you, like all of that is good. But until they see you and you're actually talking, and I don't mean to put anybody down, but doing the cringe dancings and the cringe, oh my God, there's so much cringe on social media. And you know what? You can get 20,000 likes, but a video with you, I see some of these just most bizarre videos. And you wonder why sometimes real estate agents get, weird reputations. You just speaking at the camera and getting comfortable in front of the camera, even if you are not right now, but just recording these kinds of videos are going to be what can help move the needle for you over time, 100%. So I would want you to make sure that you are doing these videos at every status of the listing, but in particular for the pending and the just sold, because it allows people to see you and then start associating you with success. To not do this, so you're just leaving money on the table. All right. You should be doing the Instagram stories, the TikToks, like what I showed you earlier, but then you should also be doing this as well. They all kind of hit a little bit of a different, kind of a audience. All right. Wrapping this up here, you got the property website. Two things I'll mention about the property website. One is the photos. And you should do this on every listing you got right now. Go to edit and go to photos and drag and drop the top 5 photos. Drag and drop the top 5 photos to the front. Don't do front of house, living room, kitchen. The first 5 photos should be really like the commercial of the property. And in listings to leads, on the e-flyers, in the ads, and in a few other places, we use the first 4 to 5 photos. And in the different marketing. All right. So those first 5 photos, and again, even on the property website. So I want to see the front of the house. Maybe it's the kitchen, maybe a living room, the backyard, maybe another feature of the property. If it's a real nice home, it's got a great master bath, phenomenal, or a picture of a pool and a barbecue area, whatever. But just the best 5 photos of that property. If the property is empty, I would want to make sure that I run that through Chat GPT or Gemini and do some virtual staging. It's absolutely free and takes a few minutes. We got some stuff in the mastermind group on that. And in fact, we got stuff in the expired group on that. How to use Chat GPT to virtually stage a property. So do that, and then make sure you save it and click the regenerate GIF. All right. And then the other thing here I'll mention is I can upload professional photos, and I can add videos and 3D tours. So if you got property videos or 3D tours, you can add those right here. All right. So and then like I mentioned before, right, when the listing goes pending or just sold, click listing information, edit listing information. And I would recommend, again, grab the link from me and just copy and edit it, copy it, paste it into yours, and then just edit it as you need to. All right. Any other questions? Anything I can help you with? Let me see. Let me go to school. Looks like there's a few people. So Val, are you on the call? I didn't see you. All right. Amy and others. Hold on, give me a minute. Got more people. Give me a second. All right. Perfect. All right. Everybody should be added. All right. Perfect. All right. Anything else? Are we good? All right, everybody. So get at it. Let me know if you have any questions or if you need any help with it. Make sure you take advantage of all 3 of our funnels for the pendings and just solds, and you're going to get more listings. All right. You're going to get a lot more listings. So with that, everybody, have a great day. Oh, Val, you are here. Jeez, you're so quiet. Could have said hi. All right. So anyways, thanks for showing up. That was awesome. Good to see you. If you got anything for me, let me know. Get into the mastermind group. All right. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.